welcome to Girl Meets World. I'm Norma, your host. I'm serving you all the Euphoria, all the Maddie right now. Tell me that it was $5. It's a $5 sports prop, Five and Below, and I was like, that is Maddie, and I'm wearing it. Let's get right into it. Season 2, episodes 1 through 5. That's what's been, up lately. Episode 1, it's the New Year's Eve party. Fez and Ashtray's origin story. Listen, Ashtray's scenes are why I started watching this. Like, I've been watching commentary channels doing season 2 recently, and I was like, okay, I have to watch it. Like, this kid is everything, okay? Like, savage, but so adorable, and just, I think I maybe see my little brother in him a little bit, where it's like, I ain't choose this life chose me, like, I'm doing what I gotta do, you know what I'm saying? Anyways. But we love the backstory. For some reason, it felt so authentic and real. I don't know, it was just good, okay? Grandma is the ish. Fez taking over is crazy. I really ship him and Lexi. I just, and oh, I want to preface, because one time I posted this Love Victor unpopular opinion situation, and the comments were so mean that I deleted it, but I think I'm a little bit stronger now, so I think it's okay. But even saying that, let's remember, like, this is a show. As long as we're aware that in the real world, these things are not okay, I think it's okay to live in the fantasy a little bit. Not that, like, crimes and stuff are a fantasy, but you get what I'm saying. Like, it's okay to look at it like the show wants you to feel about it or whatever. And also, yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of unpopular opinions in this season, so don't come for me. It's okay. We'll agree to disagree. I respect your opinion. Please respect mine. Don't come for me. Don't be mean. Anyways, yeah, so I really ship Fez and Lexi, and I like their vibe. I like their vibe. So obviously this episode we get Cassie and Nate starting, and let me tell you, okay, best friend's boyfriend situation aside, because I would never, could never. But anyways, my point is I could really relate to her, where it's like you get one little inkling that the dude is like attracted to you or likes you, and you're like full throttle pedal to the metal, okay? Like, so I could see how, I can't see, like, because it's Nate, like, it's her friend's love of her life, but I could see, like, he gives her a little, like, side eye, and she's like, okay, let's do this, like, again, I don't know why I had to be the best friend's boyfriend, but I get the sentiment. I feel like it's a common teenage girl struggle, right? It wasn't just me and Cassie, was it? Also keep in mind everything she went through with the abortion. First of all, why the hell was McKay there? Like, what the fuck? But anyways, yeah, so that will mess with your head a lot. That'll put you in a place where you're confused and also self-sabotagey, feeling like, I did something bad, because I'm pro-choice here, baby. I don't care what you got to say, but anyways, I did something bad, and so, I deserve to just make it worse or be worse or feel worse. That's why I feel like we need to give it a little more understanding. So, unpopular opinion number 1 right there. In this episode, we also meet Elliot. Now, we didn't get too much of him in this episode, I don't feel. I can't remember if they like go to school after the party in this episode or if it's in the next episode, but either way, we're gonna jumble it together in terms of like what I'm thinking about the characters, okay? Elliot, another unpopular opinion. Unpopular opinion number 2 right here. I like Elliot. Now, of course, I like him up until this point, like don't make me stand by this if he does some crazy stuff later. But I don't know. Right now, I'm getting decent guy vibe. Elliot, like, he just seems like such a sweet soul, and I think there's more to him than meets the eye, because I know people are like, well, he was doing drugs with Rue, he's the one who was giving her drugs, and now he's here trying to, like, intervention her or whatever. But like, we see him, blow away the drugs in the bathroom when she like leaves it for him. We see him like really nervously checking on her when she's drinking, and he knows she's been taking drugs. Like, he tells Jules, like, he could have just done what he was gonna do with Jules and then told her later, like, if that's what he really wanted. But I think he genuinely wants, I think with Rue, I think he really genuinely saw friendship, and obviously using drugs is probably like a hard thing to just be comfortable around people doing, if that makes sense. And I think for him, Rue was like, oh, this is his friendship where like I can do what I'm doing. But then when he saw that like she's it's a little more serious for her, or like, you know, it's a little bit more there in her life than it is him. It was kind of like, oh, you know what I mean? Because like then you see him blowing it away and like checking on her, and even when they met, he was like freaking out. He thought she was going into cardiac arrest. When he's like, oh, I like Drew how she was, like I know he's struggling with like, should I have said anything? Like this was not my place, not my business. But yeah, so right now I like him. I think he seems like a good person. I could be wrong, I could be missing some signs that other people are seeing. Of course, this episode ends with Nate getting messed up, and then I'm gonna like speed through everything, okay? So Nate gets messed up. Cal thinks that it was because of the tape with Jules and that Fez has it. Turns out he does not. And we get that wonderful scene with Ashtray. I'm obsessed, bro. Like, he's like, he ain't calling nobody. And he's like, and I know the chief and he's like, dial B, pop, pop, dial B, pop, pop, dial. Just messing them up. Then we jump into episode 3. We get Cal's backstory. Here we go. Unpopular opinion number 3. I am completely feeling for Cal, and everyone in all the commentary videos that I was watching was like, I still don't care. It's a beautiful story, like him as a kid, but now I don't care. And I think maybe I think I just have a more like, is it empathetic mind? Is that right? I'm gonna keep playing with my shirt. I'm so sorry. I will never wear shirts like this again. But anyways, yeah, I don't know if I'd call it like an empathetic mind or what, but like I just felt like seeing his backstory made me realize how hard things must have been for him. And although obviously he didn't go about it the right way, I still understand, because like you have to take into consideration like the time he was born in and what everything was like with everything, right? So in the time he was born, being gay was not nearly as acceptable as it is now. There's still a lot of issues now, but you get what I'm saying. Like back then it was just like, you pretended you weren't, period. And then on top of that, he gets this girl pregnant, and you know, back then it was very much like you marry the girl, you do right by, you know, her and your kid or whatever. And so I think he got trapped into this life and having no idea how to get out of it. So he ends up, you know, you kind of get into that mode of like, okay, marry the girl, have the kid, that's it, this is my life. You marry the girl, you have the kid, you push and you become this, you know, well-known person in your community like he does. And it's basically like, okay, I'm never getting out of this, because how are you without destroying everyone's life? But then he goes about it with some very negative habits that his son discovers, so it messes his son up. Clearly him and his wife are not where they should be, and it seems like she knew about it, so about him and guys and all of that. Like the recording piece, that's a period, like, you don't gotta tell me. Record, I don't know why he would record without a person's knowledge or consent. Clearly he's done that a lot. The files he's got, honey. So the only like significant thing I feel like out of episode 4 is that's like wasn't addressed much in that episode was the whole Mouse situation. Like Mouse's baby mama, which I think it said Nelson for some reason, but Mouse's baby mama looking for him now. So I'm interested to see what that means for Fez and that one dude. I feel like that one dude's gonna snitch or something, and they're gonna like come after Fez. I don't know, or come after Ashtray, and Fez is gonna have to protect Ashtray and die. I'm fully convinced that Fez is gonna die, and I like everyone has that prediction. I don't know why, but like I'm terrified that it's gonna come true, but I think it is. And then obviously episode 4, we got Jules and Elliot solidifying what they do. Honestly though, I mean, I got more chemistry from Jules and Elliot than Jules and Rue. But weirdly enough, I also got chemistry with Elliot and Rue. Oh, I have a little prediction though. I feel like, I don't know if Rue's gonna get better in the show, but I have a prediction / vision that she gets better or starts getting better, tries to go apologize, or like goes to apologize and they accept it, but then like she finds out about her and Elliot, and it's like, you know what I mean, like kind of like, you know, we've kind of grown and like they're like dating now. But I don't know, I guess we'll see. And last but not least, episode 5, which was a caca show. Bro, I was reading comments on like TikToks about it where people were like, I could not catch my breath the entire episode, and that was me. I couldn't even watch the end. I ran off and I told Cam to watch it, and I was like, you have to let me know what happens, and he did. And I can't. I can't. But okay. I have questions. I have lots of them. First off, the intervention. I feel like Gia did not need to be there. We have enough history to know that it was not going to go well and Rue was going to get violent and crazy. And I don't think she needed to be there. And like she runs in trying to like help and her mom's like, I got this, go to your room. Okay, why didn't you, because here's the issue I have with it is clearly she knew the intervention was gonna happen because like she got the drugs out, Jules and Elliot were there. Like this was a planned event. Why didn't we include in the plans her sister going somewhere else? Like I'm not understanding why she had to be there to be like fully traumatized. Fully. Like I hope that her mom immediately puts her in therapy so she doesn't hold on to that trauma, but baby, trauma. Not only was she trying to fight her, she was trying to fight her mom. She was banging on doors, like knocking things down. Her mom's laying over her, protecting her. Like, she ain't gonna be there for all that. She really did not. I refuse to believe she had to be there. So, I mean, Leslie's doing her best, but like, why wasn't that child removed? Like, why was she there for this? Maddie finds out about Nate and Cassie in this episode. I honestly thought her reaction would be more like hurt and like almost like whatever about it, if that makes sense. Like not so much like I'm gonna beat her up, I'm gonna mess her up and like jumping at her, and just kind of like, word, all right, well you're both out of my life, like I'm cool, and kind of just, you know, like F y'all, moving on. Rue goes on this journey, which if I can say, like the last leg of her journey, I felt like was so, I'm gonna keep using the word authentic, but like it was really authentic to like what that experience is. And I feel like especially for young people in addiction, she's gonna have to deal with the consequences of like, you know, stealing, of the police having to chase her and all of that, and breaking and entering and all that. When she goes off on Jules and she's like, no, you just love being loved, I felt like that was so true, because from jump I knew that like Jules wasn't like in love with Rue in that way. I think she just liked that it was a consistent person who like loved her and was treating her well, you know, in contrast to what she was going through with Tyler and what she went through with Cal, and you know what I mean, like kind of this like, and all the guys, you know, she sleeps with and everything and how it feels. And so I think she liked being loved by Rue. So I definitely thought it was really cool the way they like played that scene out, like the rest of the scene of her running around out. I'm terrified for what's gonna happen to her with Lori. I'm curious though. Someone mentioned this theory and I was honestly kind of thinking the same thing. That like maybe Elliot sold like the suitcase stuff, or they gave it to Elliot to figure out what to do with. Because I refuse to believe that her mom would see this suitcase full of drugs and think it was a good time to like flush them and throw them away. A good idea, sorry. Because it's like, you realistically, you know, your daughter couldn't have gotten the money for that. So obviously something's going on there. So I guess we'll see more of that. And then a lot of people were mentioning like her, like why she poked her so many times to make her look like an addict, which it's interesting. I'd love to know why. Clearly, I don't know too much about like the sex trafficking world, so maybe that's like a good thing to people. I don't know what she was getting at, but a lot of people emphasized it and said there was a lot of emphasizing in the episode about it. So I'll be interested to see how it plays out, or like learn more about like why it was such a crucial moment in the episode. Because we see Lori like, oh my God, it's traumatizing, but we see her, you know, poke her multiple times. And then we see again when Rue wakes up, Rue looking at her arm. So like obviously there's some significant, or there's gonna be more to that later. But anyways, that's what I think of episodes 1 through 5. Sorry if it was too long. Like I said, it's episode 1 through 5, but it's okay. We'll be back. We'll talk episode by episode, which will be fun because we can get into more detail. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed. I want you to like it if you did. And I also want you to comment your prediction. Anyways, I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.